wow, great, another World War I video. You've heard the jig, this is overdone. I'm going to make a less heard of history video in the future, but for now you just get another World War I video. So sit back, relax, and leave a dislike, because I ain't taking this seriously. Chapter 1, Background. Shit, this is going to take a while. We have four main parts to talk about that prelude this war. The Franco-Prussian War, the Crimean War, the Anglo-German naval arms race, and the Balkan Wars. So first we'll talk about the Anglo-German naval arms race. This was basically a dick measuring contest to see who had the better navy. The UK won because Ireland. It soured relations between Germany and the UK, though. The Franco-Prussian War was when Prussia, the precursor to Germany, basically set a trap for France, and then France jumped in head first. So now we have two countries mad at Germany. The Crimean War was when France and Britain, also called the UK, neutered Russia's navy, and Austria didn't help even though they made a pinky promise. I've been putting off the Balkan Wars because they were a real shit show. So essentially a lot of Balkan countries teamed up to kick Turkey, also known as the Ottoman Empire, out of the Balkans. Their names being Serbia, Montenegro, and Bulgaria. The latter three nations won, and now there's a fourth called Albania. So now everybody's happy except for one person who wasn't happy. Who are they? Bulgaria. Why? They made big contributions to the war and got little of the region, Macedonia, for their effort. So they go and backstab their old friends, and oh wow, they lost. Also, they're smaller now. So now we have a France and Britain who hate Germany, who is allies with Austria, who hates Russia, who equally hates them back, a pro-German Ottoman Empire, and a tiny little Bulgaria who hates everybody. Well, this'll work out peacefully. Are you ready? Because stuff's got to get way more complicated. 1914 rolled around and the Serbian nationalists decided to kill Archduke Franz Ferdinand, successor to the throne of Austria. And when in doubt about who to blame the people who hate you. So who hated Austria? Russia did, but at the time, Austria saw no point in blaming them. Italy did, but they were in a pact of friendship, and so they would never betray them. They had recently made an annexation of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which Serbia wanted to unite with. Therefore, this would make a good act of revenge, almost untraceable back to Serbia. So Austria gave a list of demands to Serbia, which they refused. And Germany basically said to Austria, hey man, do whatever, okay? So Austria declared war on Serbia. Serbia is Slavic, and so was Russia, and Russia had declared themselves the protector of all Slavs. So obviously Russia declares war on Austria for declaring war on Serbia. Since there is an offensive pact between Germany, Austria, and Italy, Germany declares war on Russia for declaring war on Austria for declaring war on Serbia. Then Germany declares war on France for mobilizing on Germany. Also, Montenegro is fighting to help Serbia, but really, who cares? They did nothing. So Germany has this really great idea of going around the French border through Belgium, who was neutral at the time. This plan relied on three things. Number one, Britain not protecting Belgium, which they pinky promised they would. Two, there being little Belgian resistance when they used the country as a stepping stone. And three, the German army being really, really good. After France got KO, the plan was to focus on Russia and 220 headshot them with a pump shotgun. So nothing going right here. The Brits did declare war after Germany violated Belgium's neutrality. There was quite a lot of Belgian resistance, and the Germans only managed to get within 20 miles of Paris when they got defeated at the Battle of the Marne. So then the Germans retreated and made some long, thin holes in the ground, also known as trenches. So let's go back to the Eastern Front, where like 5 German troops are destroying the Russian army. Also, the Ottoman Empire joined the war, but nobody cares because f*** them. Then Italy joined the war, on the Allies' side, even though they have a pact with Austria and Germany. Traitors. Anyway, they failed to advance far into Austria, so trenches. Remember Bulgaria? Bulgaria does. So Bulgaria decided to make everybody else remember Bulgaria by declaring war on the Allies. So after this, the Austrians defeated Serbia, but really they only did it because of Bulgaria. Then it's a stalemate for a bit. Russia just had a coup d'etat in February, and they want to keep fighting. Then they have a full-scale revolution in October. Also, it's red now. But this time there's bloodshed. So now Russia is not only fighting the Central Powers, but also themselves. I don't think Russia will last much longer. They signed the sick treaty to leave. Here are the stats. Minus 90% of their coal industry. Minus 15% of their land. Minus 25% of their population. Minus many monies. Minus Poland. Also, I almost forgot to mention Romania died. Anyway, the Germans poked the U.S. with a stick by sinking the Lusitania, and the U.S. had enough patience for one more throw. But then Germany tried to send a telegram to Mexico to declare war on the U.S. However, it had to go through the U.K., so obviously it's going to go wrong. This was essentially the equivalent of chucking a rock at the bear. So the U.S. declared war. Also, Greece joined and quickly made Bulgaria capitulate. Then so did Turkey, then Austria, and finally Germany capitulated. World War I is over, party. Whoa!